episode is sponsored by Naked Attraction on HBO Max or Max, whatever they call themselves. I haven't watched it.
Okay.
I just want to make that clear. I'm talking about a show that I've never watched. But it's like the number one show in the US on Max. And basically it's like a dating show, I'm assuming, because again, I've never watched the show, but they were talking about it on The View the other day. And you meet somebody just naked.
Okay.
I mean, what a hello.
What a hello.
Would you ever do? I mean,
1,000,000% no.
Oh,
I barely want to meet people fully clothed. So what? Naked? No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I
Wow.
mean, Naked Attraction. I mean, I guess it just kind of gets, there's no mystery, but you kind of get it over with.
Yeah, I'm dying to see that body type signed up for this.
Well, I mean, I've never watched the
we
show, so I
know,
can't.
we know,
I
but
can't say,
also
but
I'm
going
dying
to
to confirm.
assume.
Yeah, I'm dying to
going
confirm.
assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. Well,
Interesting.
have you? Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. I was gonna say, how long would it take for me to see somebody naked? But I see people naked on the first date. Sometimes it's not even a date. It's
Same.
just the first meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, Jonathan just liked me on Hinge.
Jonathan?
I don't know who Jonathan is. Probably not gonna match.
I mean,
it's okay. Maybe we should go on Naked Attraction and then.
That's the thought.
How much money would it take?
The amount does not exist. I would not do it. No, I wouldn't do it. I do a lot of things for money. That is not one of them.
But not be naked in front of for the whole world to see.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even do it if it's like in a room with just one person, like that, in no that cameras. Setup. No, I don't think so.
Wait, okay, so like let's say you're gonna go on a date with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the date is in your home. There's been a nice little dinner that's been prepared. The date is in your home.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that will be there is the person that you're going out on a date with, right? And you're not leaving the house, and there's no cameras, there's no nothing, but you both have to be naked in order for, on the date. How much money?
No, I don't think I would do that. Here's the thing. Really? that I do. I mean, I've been naked on the first date, so I want to be clear. But also, I mean, that's like a natural thing that happens. I feel like going into a situation, being like, I'm going to be naked for this, makes me feel extremely uncomfortable.
Interesting.
But like it happening naturally. I mean, what are you gonna do? Fuck with your clothes on? I mean, you gotta. So sure. Right. So if it happens naturally, who am I to get in the way? But to orchestrate a naked meeting, it feels weird to me. Yeah.
Okay.
How much money would it take for you to do it?
I don't know, $500, $1,000.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not the televised part, but like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, are you kidding me? You're gonna pay me to be naked in my home?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So if you guys have $500, just Venmo them right over to Adrian. And he'll go on a naked date with you in his house.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if I think you're hot, I'd do it for free.
What if you didn't think the person was hot?
I'm a little poor right now, so I need the money.
Okay. Good to know. No shame. We love that.
Yeah, no. Listen, I'm looking for work.
No, yes, 100%. Yeah.
Somebody let me know. Where can I make some extra money?
Yeah.
If anybody is interested in purchasing my worn socks, my
And I
worn
bet there
underwear.
would be people. There
Oh,
would
I'm
be
sure.
people.
And listen, I'm not kidding. If you're on here and you want to buy it, I will absolutely let DM me at
Yeah.
DJ Adriatic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whatever you want. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it all for money.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not kidding.
No,
Somebody.
no, I don't think anyone thought you were, babe.
Okay.
I don't think anyone thought you were. You know, one time I was clicking through in Poshmark, you know, where people go on there to sell their clothes and stuff. I clicked through so deeply into the holes of Poshmark that I found people that sold their used socks on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
One person sold a pair of used socks because you know it shows you things that they've already sold, $100
Yeah. Yeah. My feet
for
sweat
her old socks.
my feet get sweaty, so they're gonna
Oh
show
my
up
God.
ripe and ready to sniff.
That I'm a little grossed out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am a little bit grossed out.
Why? Because my feet get sweaty?
I just don't feet in general. I don't like feet. I don't
Yeah,
like
neither
feet.
do
I don't like thinking about feet. I definitely don't like thinking about sweaty feet.
First of all, my feet are clean, by the way. They
I
just
mean, I
get
didn't say they were
sweaty.
dirty.
No, I'm for anybody at home who's
Oh,
think
okay.
like they're clean, okay? They just get sweaty. Also feet pics, happy to do that. Whatever
Great.
you want, I will make all of
Great.
your dreams come true
Interesting.
for a small fee.
Yeah.
Uh Deserved fee.
Yes. Yeah.
Not
As you should.
small. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
Okay. Oh, so glad I made that announcement. Welcome to You Man Chisme, your number one source for chisme on the internet. Adrian and Julie here.
Mhm.
Julie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right.
We do the same
Okay.
thing all the
Bye.
time. It's the same. People are like, do you think people are we annoying? Are we do you think people, you know what my biggest fear is?
Tell me.
I don't want to be corny. Like just like as a
I don't think
human
you're
being.
corny. I don't think you're
I think I
corny.
can be sometimes, but
Interesting. I don't think I've ever considered you to be corny. That's not
I
even a
appreciate
word
that.
that I would associate with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't ever want to
Interesting.
be corny. Yeah.
Interesting. Cut to our next review being like, Adrian is corny.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's weird. That's an interesting. What would entail a corny person? That's not even a word I've ever. Oh, you know who's corny? Drake.
Okay, yeah.
That is a corny man.
Yeah.
That and you're not Drake. And you're not Drake. You're no
I know
Drake.
that's for sure. Yeah.
That is a corny man right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't ever want to. Okay, well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Being basic has become a personality, and I appreciate those people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't ever want to be basic in a real sense.
Right.
Although I think I have basic tendencies.
We all do.
Like if somebody were to insult me with that insult, I would be devastated.
Interesting.
That's why I try to keep my mouth shut a lot of the time, so that people don't know how basic I can be.
Oh my God. Everyone probably thinks I'm basic as fuck. I definitely share too much. They're like, oh, there she goes again. Oh no. No. You know what's crazy? Being perceived out loud. I just went through that at work. Being perceived out loud is wild. Mm-hmm. It's wild. You think you're one way, and then someone's like, actually, this is the way you are. And you're like, oh. Mm-hmm. They called me sassy at work.
I mean, what are viewers?
You know what? Here's the thing. You know what's funny is that every time, okay, there's a group of people. It was one guy that called. Well, there was like two people that called me sassy. They were ganging up on me, and then when I went to go tell on them, the first reaction to the first two people I said, I was like, "You're not gonna guess what so and so said to me," and I was like, "They said I was sassy," and both of the women I was talking to go, "Well," I said,
Do you
"I
not like?
can't."
Do you not like being labeled sassy?
I just thought I was going into work with a
Uh,
kind heart and a
mm,
good attitude. And you
mm-hmm,
know what kicked it off? I walked into the office smiling, mistake number one.
mm-hmm.
Mistake number one. And one of the people that I
uh,
work with,
uh,
and one of the people that I work with, he was like, "What are you smiling about?" I was like,
mm,
"What? Excuse me?"
uh-huh,
It was 6:30 in the morning. I was like, I
mm,
can't now I can't smile. He's like, "I'm just not used to it." I'm like, "I smile all the time." And he's like, "When you're being mean to people." I was like, "Oh, this is an attack on me as a human being at 6:30 in the morning for
uh-huh,
smiling?"
uh-huh.
Sure. Then he was like, "It's gonna be a quiet day. So and so and so and so won't be here." And I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna be here by myself." And then I said, "Oh, I guess you'll be here." He didn't like it. And that's when he called me sassy.
Uh-huh. Well, he deserved it, I think.
Honestly, I agree because because I walked in, he's like, "You were laughing." I was like, "I was listening to something. I had my
Mm-hmm.
AirPods in." I'm like, "Can
Mm-hmm.
I live my life?"
What were you
I can't,
listening to?
I don't remember. It was I mean, but it made me laugh.
Oh, you weren't listening to You, Me, and Chisme?
No, I should have been. I should have been. Um, but it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but imagine that if he's like, "What are you smiling at?" And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"My podcast." He'd have been like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, now you're chaotic.
Uh-huh.
You're chaotic. Your self-esteem's a little too high."
Right. Well,
Um,
and his
well,
isn't, so
right.
oh my god, am I gonna sneeze right now? I can't tell. Okay, I think it's past.
We were all on the edge of our seats. We
Oh
were on the
wow.
edge of our seats.
It's gonna happen at some point. Well, because now the sneeze is living in my nose. Where's my tissue box? Oh, my tissue box is over there. Okay. Well,
Oh my God. This is riveting. Is he gonna sneeze or not? Everyone place your bets.
there's nothing that I love more than a sneeze. Mm.
Christine.
You don't love a sneeze?
I mean, I don't think I've ever thought of
The
sneezes.
release of a sneeze is so incredible. It's euphoric.
Interesting.
I mean,
I
I'm not getting hard when I sneeze, but
okay, I'm glad you cleared that up because we
but
were all wondering.
but maybe I will sometimes. Like I love a sneeze. Don't you?
Oh,
Do you not? You don't love a sneeze? I'm a
you know,
sneezer. Like I give out a good sneeze.
interesting. I do have very weird sneezes. More
Mm,
often than not, do I don't fully sneeze. I like hold it.
mhm.
You know what it is well that I started sneezing like that when I was younger because I didn't like to bring attention to myself
Oh,
and be loud and
interesting.
stuff. And so now that's just the way I sneeze. And it hurts a little. It does.
Mhm,
Sometimes I'm like, I why don't I just open my mouth and allow it to happen?
mhm.
But no, my dad tells me all the time. He's like, "Sneeze correctly." I'm like, I literally can't help it at this point. It's been too many
Interesting.
years.
Interesting. I I don't know if this is TMI. I don't think it is.
Tell us and we'll see.
Okay. I first of all, I'm not ashamed of picking my nose. I just
Okay.
want to make
And
that
you shouldn't
clear.
be.
I don't think I think people get shamed for picking their nose too often. Like what? What? You know?
Everyone
Um
picks their nose.
it doesn't happen anymore. Everybody picks their nose. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but um when I would first get really stoned, like
Mhm.
I would pick my nose because it felt really good stoned. Okay, like stick, but like not. I like use a tissue and Also, my ears are very sensitive, so if you whisper into my ears, or sometimes when I like use a Q-tip in my ear, that
I
also
love
is
that.
euphoric. And the back of my neck is very sensitive. If you get anywhere near the back of my neck, a shiver gets sent down my spine.
He just orgasmed. Just thinking about it.
That isn't necessarily bad. One time I was hooking up with a guy and I was very stoned because he had a pen and he set his pen to like ultra, which I should not have been on.
Dude, I've been there. I've been there.
And so we had gone out to dinner and I was hitting his pen and not realizing that it was on a high setting. And so by the time we got back to his place and we were hooking up, and I was like, I'm too stoned out of my mind.
Dude.
When
let's talk about it.
Started to kiss the back of my neck.
You came. He did. He did, everyone. He did.
The way it was too powerful that I felt uncomfortable. Like it was too much. And anyways,
amazing.
The next time I had to not be on the ultra. I mean, I don't know what the setting is called, but on the ultra setting. Anyways, Lord have mercy. When this doesn't happen as much anymore, but when I would get haircuts when I was younger and they would do the back of my head and my neck, I wouldn't come. Thank you very much.
You get hard though.
It was, I mean, I'm like, I was a little kid. No, I was.
Oh, when you're younger. Okay.
It would send shivers down my entire body. It would like make me. I would have a very visceral physical reaction, and I would have to sit there and be like,
interesting.
Yeah.
When I had a similar experience with the pen. Mistakes were made. This is a few years ago. Mistakes were made, and that's the day that I discarded.
Wait. I don't know if everybody. You guys will have to go back and if you didn't hear it the first time, because at first I didn't hear it, but then I realized what she was saying, and that was the funniest thing I've ever
heard. But those pens really do sneak up on you. They do sneak up on you, and I mean euphoric. I'm still chasing that feeling to this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, no.
I actually don't know why I whispered that, because I feel like I've said it on the podcast before.
Maybe. Do you want to say it again so everybody
knows?
Okay.
I want everyone to speculate. Okay. Listen real hard. Rewind again. Listen real hard to see if you heard it. If you did hear what I say, send us a DM.
Right. And you know what's interesting? Okay, I just want to point this out. What's interesting about these mics is that sometimes they're too good where they like, so, if there was silence, it's because I was laughing.
Yeah.
And sometimes these microphones don't pick up the incredible laugh that sometimes comes through. So I just want people to know that. Anyways, there's no stone left unturned when it comes to Julie.
No, there really isn't.
No,
there really isn't.
Did it only happen once?
Yes, unfortunately.
Wow.
But it was glorious.
And he was very into it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we worked towards that every day after that. Like just really, really put in the work. But I think it was something with the pen, because it makes you completely. I mean, it was too much. It was too much that at some point I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna move again. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was too much. But it made me completely, I'm very self-conscious. I'm in my head a lot. Sure. Like it made me not be in my head, and it caused my body to react in ways that were a surprise to everyone involved. Yeah. So yeah, good times were had. Great times were had, some may say. Yeah.
And it was like he was drinking from a water fountain.
Oh my God.
What? Is it not?
So
I mean,
anyway,
listen, that's what they tell me on Twitter. I'm just,
okay, who are you talking to on Twitter? Is my number one question.
Sometimes other types of videos show up on my porn Twitter.
Okay.
And by I mean other types, I mean videos featuring women.
Right. I mean, I think we gathered.
Okay. We
gathered that.
Yeah.
Before we get into our pop culture episode, I do want to tell you guys a little story about something that happened this past weekend. I almost witnessed a murder. Let me explain.
Should I be laughing? Is this what's
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay.
So, I almost witnessed a murder in my parents' house. So
in your parents' house?
Yes. Yeah.
If
between
this is
family
about a
members.
bug?
No, it's between family members. So I go to my parents to pet sit. Everyone was going to be out of the house. And I was supposed to do my mom's grocery shopping and take care of the dogs and the birds and the turtles. And the bird and the turtles. The bird is Sophia's pet, and the dog, the Maltipoo, is Sophia's. And then there's a husky, and then there's the two turtles. And
is this about pets trying to kill each other?
Can I tell my story?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, thank you. It's been a traumatizing couple of days. So
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so I go and I change the birds. I go above and beyond, and I change the birds' water because it's a little dirty. And then I put the water back in, and then I go grocery shopping for my mom. Then I come back with the groceries. Feathers everywhere on the living room floor.
Oh my gosh. Wait, they're not in the cage?
On the living room floor.
But the birds live in the cage.
The bird lives in the cage. There's no bird in the cage, and there's feathers in the living room floor.
What did you do?
I said, there's been a murder. And I'm looking, and I was like, first I said, what if I just leave?
Okay.
What if I just go home?
Have you not seen Only Murders in the Building?
Not this current season, no.
You don't leave. You start a podcast and you figure out what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, I did stay.
Okay.
And then I start looking, and I'm cautiously looking, because I really did not want to find a dead bird. I didn't. It would have ruined me. And so I'm looking. I call my mom.
By the way?
Huh? Camilo.
Camilo. Uh-huh.
I call my mom and I say, I think there's been a murder. And my mom starts freaking out, and she goes, what are you talking about? And I said, Camilo got out of his cage. And she said, Pinche Julia, and I thought something serious was happening. And I said, first of all, how dare you? I'm traumatized. I'm like, I can't find him. I'm looking. He's on the dog food bowl. Alive, but hurt.
Wounded.
I pick him up. Lower back to butt, no feathers. Plucked like he's getting ready for a caldo de pollo.
Oh my God.
Lower back, skin. And do you know what a bird's skin looks like? It's gross. It's gross. I pick him up. He's all puffy, stressed out, living his worst life. I wash his little back. He's not bleeding or nothing, but I'm sure he did bleed at some point. I'm freaking out. The attempted murderer is trying to get me to pick her up, and I said, Bella, how dare you even look at me right now? Like, you don't know what you've done.
Wait, so Bella is Sophia's dog, the little dog?
Sophia's dogs. Almost a murder between siblings. And honestly, what kind of parent is she that she raised an almost murder? Let's talk about it. But honestly, who am I to judge parenting styles? But I'm just saying. And so I video call my mom to show her the bird. She's like, it's fine. I'm sobbing. At this point, I'm actively sobbing, like crying uncontrollably. And she's like, it's going to be okay. If he eats or drinks, he's going to be fine. Like, it's fine. And I'm like, it's not fine. He probably went through so much. He's been in so much pain. I'm sobbing. She's like, put him in his cage and just see what he does. I put him in his cage, sit by his cage for 3 hours crying.
You
making
would
sure.
cry?
Yeah, I was sobbing like a baby. Was that sarcasm, asshole?
No.
I've been
I
traumatized.
wasn't sure if the bird was crying because I was like, how do birds cry?
The bird wasn't even making noise, which was another thing because he chirps, he tweets, whatever he does it a lot. So I was like, he's not making any noise and he's not moving. At some point, like an hour and a half in, or like maybe 2-3 hours in, he comes down and gets some water. So I was like, okay, he drank some water, he's okay. And then my dad gets home, goes to pet Bella. I was like, don't touch her. And my dad was like, why? You guys are gonna have to move over to the YouTube channel to see the facial expression I'm about to do. And I was like, you don't even know what she's done. And so I tell him, and he's like, oh yeah, Camilo sometimes gets down and Bella just wants to play with him. I was like, you don't understand. And so he goes to the cage. This is my dad. He goes to the cage, and then he goes, oh. I was like, and then he goes, this is a Mexican father for you. And you didn't close the cage right. I was like, and he's like, you did something wrong. If he got out, how did he get out? And I was like, okay. Does it look like the moment? Does it look like the moment? You don't see my tear-stained face. And I was like, Dad, I did tell him that. I was like, does it look like the moment? This is the appropriate reaction at this time? And he's like, I'm just saying that it is probably something you did. And I was like, interesting. What?
Well, I had the same question.
Interesting. It was my fault. Okay. When I put the water back in, there is a lock because he knows how to open his cage, the fucker. And so there's a thing. And I put the thing back, but I must have not done it. He was able to open it enough because he wasn't able to open it fully. He was just able to open it enough to sneak out of there. So then my mom comes home. The bird's still fine. I cry more. And she's like, I'm more worried about you. Like, you need to, it's okay. And I was like, Sophia's gonna hate me. She's gonna hate me because look at what's happened to her bird. I come home. This is a Sunday. I come home. Angel sent from heaven. Sophia calls me, video calls me. It shows me the bird. It's like, look, Camilo's okay, Tia. Are you still upset? And I was like, a little bit. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that I let the cage open. And she goes, it's Camilo's fault. Why did he get out? He knows that Bella wants to play rough with him. Why did he do it? And I was like, I don't think he understood. I think it was my fault because I didn't close it right. And then she's like, but it wasn't your fault because you were just trying to put water in there. And I was like, I think it is. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that he got hurt. And then she's like, it's okay. He's okay. Look. And she's like, you know how when I get hurt and grandma fixes me? And I was like, yeah. She's like, she's going to do the same for him. And I was like, you're too good to me.
She will follow you blindly.
And
maybe we need to talk about that.
we should assess it. We should assess it. We are too close. But I thanked her. I was like, thank you. And I'm still sorry. She's like, you don't need to be sorry. And I was like, but I still am because he did get hurt. And now he has no feathers on his lower back and on his butt. And I was like, and no one needs to look at a bird butt because it looks weird. And but she said it was okay. And she told me I needed to forgive Bella because I was still finding it difficult to look at Bella. So she's like, you need to forgive Bella because Bella was just trying to play. And I was like, well, we don't know because we don't have the footage. I was like, and the worst thing is if cops were involved, I would have been an accomplice to a murder. And that doesn't feel right with me. That Bella put me in that position. So we are struggling. It's going to take some time to get my relationship with Bella back in order.
Did I see you on Instagram celebrating Bella's birthday?
Yeah, because my mom yesterday yesterday we were talking. She said that we had forgotten Bella's birthday. So I did feel a little bit bad about it. But I mean, I'm not hugging her and I haven't cuddled her. And she's a great cuddler, but I also haven't seen her since Sunday. But the point is that if given the chance, I wouldn't have cuddled her any of these days. I just need a minute. Who knows? Who's to say? Maybe I see. I'm going over there today. Maybe I see her today, and she's getting fixed though. She started a hump. She's going wild. She's a wild girl. She's humping. She's trying to kill people. But we need to talk to Sophia because her parenting, it's just not doing what it needs to be doing.
Well, where do you think Sophia learned it from?
She not from me. That's the thing she did get from her mom. I'm just kidding. It's hereditary. I'm just kidding. No one who knows my sister-in-law send her that. She will actually murder me. Yeah. So please. But I didn't tell one lie. So anyway, she yeah. So don't get pets, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't get pets.
Don't get different species because they will be at odds.
Right. Right. I mean, listen, you don't have to tell me about no pets.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that, Julie.
Thank you.
I hope
it's been hard.
Yeah. I hope, Camilo lives many, many, many more years.
Here's hoping.
I hope Bella,
chills the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're getting her fixed today. So
Bella, come on the pod. Would love to discuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would love to discuss. Okay. Sending all of our love to Camilo the bird.
Yes.
For a speedy recovery.
Yes. Oh, poor Camilo.
Poor Camilo. Okay, well, we asked for it and we got it.
Okay.
You know what we got?
Fan mail?
We got fan mail. We got fan mail from the one, the only Jaime. Shall we?
Let's.
Hi, Adrian and Julie. I felt the call to action I saw on your stories that y'all recording tomorrow morning, and I was like, dang, I've been meaning to send fan mail for the last couple of weeks, and I just haven't. But Jaime here again. Happy to be calling in. The first thing that I want to say, I've been meaning to share with you all, if I have not expressed this already, and I'm sure the fans will agree, but I am so appreciative of the joy that you all bring to us listeners at the start of the week, especially with episodes being posted on Monday. I think it's the perfect way to start my week. I drive to work just dying of laughter. I appreciate so much when you both can make yourself laugh. Julie in particular, it just tickles me every single time when you just cackle at your own jokes, and it's just so funny to me, and I just love it so much. But my fan mail for this week, I, at the risk of a divorce, if my husband hears this, and also risk of your friendship, Julie, I have some questions about your thoughts on Taylor Swift. But I saw this TikTok recently that talked about how she loves to weaponize feminism and to basically kind of get her fans together to defend her in the name of feminism, and as a white feminist uses it in that way. So a couple examples I saw was Tina Fey and Amy Poehler at some award show, I forget what it was, like 2016 or something. They made a joke in their monologue about her, and she turned around and was like, there's a special place in hell for women who don't support women. Knowing damn well that it was a joke, and that's what people do, comedians in particular do as part of the monologue, right? So I think Amy Poehler and Tina Fey had some sort of response, like apologizing after, but then also being like, take a joke. But then I guess there was another instance, too, that this particular person in this TikTok had brought up about some TV show. There was a line that somebody had set back in 2019 about having more boyfriends than Taylor Swift, and she just went off on Twitter and got her fans riled up, and they all came for this actress in particular who was a Latina, and gave her a lot of shit for like delivering this line on this particular show. So all this to say, in a very long-winded way, wanted to hear your thoughts on how she weaponizes feminism and maybe has kind of like this very elementary idea of what feminism is, and uses it as a means to go for people that critique her because she's a woman, or a woman, that they can't critique her. Otherwise, they're not feminists anymore. So anyways, love the show. Can't wait to hear your thoughts.
I'm really coming in with the the real question. Thank you, Jaime. Jaime, my roommate, my best friend. Jaime doesn't even drive to work on Mondays, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Calling him the fuck out after you said some really nice words to us.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure he does drive to work on Mondays. I can't keep up with his in office and home schedule. So
interesting.
Thank you for listening, Jaime. We appreciate
Thank you.
Much.
We do appreciate you.
So Taylor Swift and feminism. What do you have to say, Julie? What do you think?
I agree. I agree. I think the TikTok he's talking about, I think I saw the same one where the girl is talking about this. I do think that Taylor Swift has done something brilliantly, and that is used feminism to explain, to justify her sometimes problematic behavior. Where she does something and then it's, if you're criticizing her, then, well, so you don't like women, or like, what is that? You know what I mean? And I think it's brilliant. I do I think it's problematic 100%. I also think it's brilliant because it works completely in her favor, and it does make it very difficult to criticize her. It does make it, whether you want to or not. Don't I know it? Because every time I do, someone jumps in there to say, no one says stuff like this when it comes to a man. I'm like, do you have another argument? If you don't, then get out of my video, please. But because I enjoy Taylor Swift's music. Here's where I stand currently with Taylor Swift. I'm loving this ride of Travis Kelce, and I'm sure she's loving the ride too. I'm liking them. I'm enjoying the story. I still can't listen to her music. Every time she comes on my playlist, I skip her. Ever since the Maddie Healy stuff, I cannot listen to it. Where this is where her white feminism comes in, where it's like, sure, you stand up for yourself and you stand up for women and you stand up for rights of other people up until it stops benefiting you, up until it doesn't work for your agenda anymore. You know, dating Maddie Healy, I think, was a very blatant and clear example of where her feminism ends. And it's in being inclusive. And that's the reality of it. That is, whatever you want to say about Taylor Swift, she is brilliant. She's a businesswoman. She is the music industry, whether we want to accept it or not, unfortunately. I do think in terms of power, Beyonce is more powerful in terms of the general world, but you cannot deny Taylor Swift's impact. You just can't. And her power actually makes me a little scared. But I do think that it's a lot of I don't want to say fluff. But it's a lot of coordinated behavior to showcase her version of feminism, and she sells it as the general version of feminism, and a lot of people buy it. Too many people buy it, and it makes it difficult to create accountability for an artist like that, which is why she often doesn't have accountability, and there are no consequences to her missteps. And not to say that there needs, I don't think Taylor Swift needed to be boycotted after she started dating Maddie Healy, but I think acknowledging it, catching her behavior. Right before she started dating Maddie Healy, Taylor Swift was way into TikTok, commenting on everyone's TikToks, making her presence known on TikTok. Suddenly everyone was talking about how disappointed they were in her. She disappeared. She hasn't appeared on the app since. So she very much is aware of what people say, aware of the criticism, but she's powerful enough and has the narrative worked out about her enough that she doesn't need to justify her problematic actions, and we allow her to get away with it, which is a shame. But at this point, with her magnitude of star power, I don't think I think we're just stuck with this. Unless she really puts her foot in it. Like if she really does something, I think this is the only way we're going to see a downfall of Taylor Swift again, is if she really does something negative against another white woman. Then we're going to really see the impact of how bad it could get for her. But until that happens.
And what would that be? Like, what would she have to do?
I don't know.
Is there anything that Taylor Swift does do that would make, the court of public, the public opinion turn against her?
I don't know. I think it would have to do with like maybe something hypocritical, something she's spoken out about in terms of herself. And if she were to do it to someone else, I think maybe people would start opening their eyes. But if she does it to another white woman, then people would start to open their eyes and see maybe her behavior is a little problematic, because it is. And I can say that while still acknowledging that I enjoy Taylor Swift's music, though I cannot listen. I need more space from the Maddie Healy stuff, but I am a fan of her music, and I do think she's extremely talented. I don't think she's a dancer, but I think she's talented. I don't necessarily think she's a singer, but I think that she's talented. But I do think she deserves what she has. I think she has worked hard for it. But to say that her slate is clean, or to say she's a feminist and that she's fighting for us and doing this, no, she's fighting for white people, white women to be specific. She's fighting for white women. And every so often, if she happens to accidentally fight for the minority, then good for her, I guess. But that she's not actively doing that. And I think we need to accept that. And she does use feminism to justify a lot of her problematic actions and to stop people from criticizing her when it's necessary to do so.
Do you think that she has a responsibility as the biggest pop star in the world to fight for more than just white women?
I think if you're going to fight for people in general, then you have a responsibility to fight for people that would encompass your audience. And every single kind of person listens to Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. So if you look at your audience and you are not willing to go to bat, like if you're being outspoken about issues, but you look at your audience, you're not being outspoken to every issue that may impact your audience, then I do think that there's something wrong with that. Because it's either you're so private that you're not going to speak on anything, which I actually don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that, or you're going to pick and choose what topics you're going to speak out on, then okay, you're not standing for all of us. And it's the pretending that you are that's the issue. And I think that's where Taylor Swift falls. She's in trouble. There was a lot of conversation happening about when she was in Nashville and she didn't speak about the anti-LGBTQ situation that's happening over there. She didn't make any comments about it. Lizzo was on the same stage and she did. So it's things like that where, like, if you're doing a tour throughout these states that have laws that are harming people in your fan base, and you speak about so much, why not get up there and make the audience that is paying money to be that in that stadium with you, make them feel a little safer and like you support them? I mean, not that it's her duty. I just think that it's what's right. Right. But who's to say if, like, she doesn't have to? Okay, no, she doesn't have to. She definitely doesn't have to.
I think she does have to.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, I think that I think you have a responsibility when you have that kind of, in the sense that, no, she doesn't have to.
Right.
But I think that she absolutely should.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that kind of power and that kind of magnitude of that voice, if you're not going to use it, then what is the point of having it?
Yeah.
Unless she just doesn't care. It doesn't affect her.
Yeah.
And that to me also is weird and troubling. Let's keep talking about Taylor Swift, but and thank you, Jaime, but
thank you.
We have to
say
it's time for the pop culture pop-up. First up on the pop culture pop-up, Taylor Swift again. So Taylor Swift went to a football game, and it was as if she was the first person to ever attend a football game. What is this man's name?
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce. This is how I understand the story. Julie, correct me if I'm wrong. Travis Kelce, a football player for the Chiefs, I believe, has made comments in the past about how he likes Taylor Swift or thinks she's cute or has a crush, whatever it is. And then there were a couple rumors that were out in the press about how they were talking. I think Travis's brother even mentioned something. And then there we were, Sunday. I was gonna say Sunday Night Football, but I don't know. It was on a Sunday. I think they play football on Sundays. And there she was sitting next to Travis's mom in one of the boxes at the game. Here's what I think.
Okay.
It came off so incredibly like planned, and it just didn't seem one bit of genuine. It was very weird. I don't understand. Are they dating? Have they hung out before? Was this the first time they met each other? Or why is it being thrown in our face? To me, it's giving I want people to forget about Matt Healy. So what am I going to do? I'm going to date the most American boy playing the most American sport, hanging out with his wonderful, beautiful white American mom that's so cookie cutter that now we're not talking about the fact that she was dating some weird asshole that has said a lot of different things about a lot of different people. Why does Heinz have a seemingly ranch product ready to go with the photo that she posted of her eating ranch and ketchup together? I don't think she touched the ranch nor the ketchup at all. It seems so weird to me that I think that if they really were interested in dating each other, we wouldn't know about it. Because guess what? We didn't know that she was dating the little Joe boy for a long time. They never did anything public. And while I don't think that Taylor Swift has any privacy in her life, I think that she can certainly figure out how to do things privately as much as possible. And I think starting a relationship with Travis is maybe not, I don't know. It seems very weird. Very, very weird to me.
Okay. Interesting. I feel the opposite.
Okay.
This is how I'll tell you how I experienced it. Okay. Travis Kelce has a podcast with his brother Jason Kelce. They're both football players. And Travis had mentioned that he was going to go to the Taylor Swift concert at the stadium that he plays at, and that he, at the Taylor Swift shows, the fans are making friendship bracelets, and they exchange friendship bracelets, and he had made one with his phone number, and he was going to give it to her if he got to meet her. And so he went to the concert. He didn't get to meet her. That was his story. He didn't get to meet her, and he didn't get to give her the friendship bracelet. But essentially, he shoots his shot publicly and says publicly that he wants to invite her to go watch his football game. Because she's taken over that stadium, and now he wants to say, it's corny, but now he wants her to see him take over the same stadium. And so that happens. Then there's rumors that's the story to the public. But while this is happening, there's rumors that they're already seeing each other, that they've already met, that they did meet, who knows at the show or not, but that they did previously meet and that they have been seeing each other. Then the NFL starts talking about it. They're asking Jason about it in interviews. And Jason, he kind of says like,
Jason is the brother.
Jason is a brother. And he says he respects Travis's privacy and says something like, but his life is going really well right now, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Then they ask Travis, and I think he kind of alludes to it, kind of alludes to the fact that it's already happening, but no one really confirms anything. Then there's a rumor the day of show, you know, the little show they put on, the football game. There's the day of the football game. There's already a rumor Taylor Swift is going to be there. Taylor Swift is going to be there because there was contact with the stadium and they're requesting the glass be darkened in that suite so that you can't see in from the outside. They obviously couldn't make that happen, but it was a request that had happened, and now people knew that they're seeing each other, that she was going to be there. Then she comes to the show. This is what I think. The game. This is what I think. I think they've been dating each other. There's video that was released yesterday from like a Ring camera from a neighbor's house of Travis's, of her leaving his house before the game. So she stayed at his house before the game. And then there's rumors that after the after party, they went back to his house. So essentially she stayed with him during her stay in Kansas City.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. In Kansas City. I think they've been seeing each other for a minute. I don't necessarily think this is everyone forget about Maddie, because unfortunately, I think me and you are the only ones that still remember. To be honest, I'm the only one still upset. I'm the only one still bitter. Even though sometimes I post videos on our TikTok and people are like, no, I still remember. And I'm still upset about it. I'm like, well, you don't act like it. But I think this is what I think. I think this is everyone stop looking at Sophie. Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas's divorce. Taylor Swift has loaned her apartment in New York City to Sophie Turner to stay in while her divorce proceedings are happening, and that's where she's staying right now. So I personally think this is, I've been dating this guy and I'm going to go public so that people stop talking about Sophie and she can deal with this the way she needs to privately, and she's not front and center in the news stories. That's what I think is happening. And I do think that it's genuine, only because he's talked about Taylor Swift for a minute and that he had like a little crush on her, like a celebrity crush on her. And I think on his end, at least, I do think that it's a genuine pursuit of her. Like he really was interested in her. If it's calculated on her end, I don't know. But one thing I do know for sure, and I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to say it, and I don't care if the Swifties get mad. I know for a fact, this is the first time in her life Taylor Swift is getting dick down full force. This is the first time in her life. Look at her past. Look at the material.
Not even Jake Gyllenhaal?
No. You can tell Jake Gyllenhaal is not a giver. He is not a giver. I guarantee you, this is the first time at 6'5". Oh, she is getting dick down like you wouldn't believe. She's seeing stars. The music that's going to come out of this is going to be amazing. Amazing. You know, I buy it. I do. I buy it. And if anything, it's a cute little celebrity story that keeps us entertained.
Sure. I definitely do think that the way to get somebody to not talk about something is to give them something else to talk about. So, you know, everybody forgets about Matt Healy because we've been presented with something on a silver platter. Also, not that Matt Healy isn't even famous enough to continue to be in people's vocabulary.
You know, he looks like a wet cigarette. I mean,
but I do think that there is a large part of Taylor Swift that is concerned with how she is perceived.
100%.
and what the narrative is.
100%.
And so I would not be surprised if there's a bit of a narrative shift here.
Sure.
And
also, to add really quick, I'm sorry, the ranch thing. That was actually a tweet from a Taylor Swift fan account who posted that picture of Taylor next to that chicken and the ranch and the ketchup. And the tweet said, Taylor Swift at the football game eating chicken with ketchup and seemingly ranch. That was the tweet. And it went viral because it's a stupid way to word it.
Well, right.
And it went viral. And I genuinely do think that Heinz was like, we're on this shit, because it went crazy viral that day because it's ridiculous. And everyone was like, seemingly ranch. And I do think that Heinz was intelligent and they got on that marketing in seconds.
But did they already have a ketchup ranch?
No, I don't know if they had a ketchup ranch. I do think that ketchup ranch mixtures they're a thing in condiment world. I do think that they are. I think what was the marketing ploy is the label that was changed to ketchup and seemingly ranch, and they've made it limited edition because they're probably doing quick production of it, get it out as soon as possible, and let's see how many we sell.
Sure.
Yeah.
But is she getting paid for it? Like, who's getting
paid?
I think anybody getting paid for it?
I don't think anyone's getting paid.
Listen, I appreciate that she is getting amazing dick. I mean,
you know she is. You know she is. You know, well, she is.
You never know.
No, I do know.
He could be horrible.
No.
Is he making her squirt? I don't know.
Here's hoping. Taylor, I want the best for you, and I hope you're getting it. I do hope you're getting it.
There just happens to be certain things that just come off weird. I do want to say, did you see that conversation about Taylor Swift and how she is like, she's not growing. There's a criticism that she's not necessarily growing with her fans, and kind of has like this childlike aura about her that have you heard this before?
I haven't. I'm not surprised by it, but no, I haven't.
I think it was in conversation comparing her to Beyonce, whereas Beyonce has continued to with every project, it's like she's going through her husband cheating on her, like she's stepping into her womanhood. But then Taylor Swift kind of uses youth and like this childlike kind of like attitude to appeal to a younger crowd. Does that make sense? I'm not explaining it very well.
No, it does make sense.
I mean, I thought that was very interesting in that, Taylor Swift is going to be 34 years old. How do I know that? Because we were born the same year, 1989. And like she's the friendship bracelets at the show, like there's just a very childlike type of approach to a lot of things, and not child like a baby, but like a 13, 14-year-old type of approach to a lot of things.
I can see that. I can see that. I also think that it's her fans a lot of the time. But I think she caters to it a little bit, but I think she does little things like, I'm thinking of Questlove released all those pictures from one of the parties that he had, and Taylor Swift was in one of those pictures, and there's like a joint next to her, and everyone was freaking out about it. And I was like, I don't know why anyone's surprised. And then there was like, that performance of Vigilante something, and it's like a sexy dance that she does on stage, and everyone was freaking out about it. Like that kind of stuff where I'm like, I think she tries. I think this is what she does, because she cares about her perception, or how people perceive her so much, that I think she throws little things here and there to see how people take it, and her fans over and over continue to not take it well. Continue to not allow the idea of Taylor Swift possibly being a 34-year-old woman to be a reality in their brains. So I do think she leans into it, but I do also think that she'll throw things here and there. Like, you remember, well, you probably don't. It was a big deal the first time she cursed in a song.
What did she say?
I don't remember the song that it was, but I remember people discussing the first time she cursed in a song. And it's that kind of stuff. Probably fuck or something, or shit or something, like, and people really were like, not even in a negative, but like, oh my god, she did it, she's cursing in a song. Like, this idea that this woman is not 34, or she's 33 right now, but her birthday is December 13th. But I do think she leans into it, but I also think it's because she has to, or she feels like she has to, because when she throws little things, she sees how her fans react, and often it's in shock and incredulous over the fact that she could possibly be a layered 33-year-old woman.
Which is weird to me, because at what point does that stop? Like, she's not going to be able to do that forever. She can't be 45 up there being like, you know.
I don't know. There's that actress, that Latina Mexican actress that plays the Oreja, and she's like 60 something. And she plays a little girl.
Well, but that's different though. Like, this is Taylor's. I mean, this is
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I think it's an interesting conversation to have about how does she, no pun intended, shake this off, like this kind of, like, an artist's evolution is you evolve and you continue to with age and with your fans. Mm-hmm. And so I find it hard to imagine that she'll be 40 years old catering to 13-year-old girls. Like, what are 13-year-old girls going to find in common with a 40-year-old woman? Like, that's an interesting thing to think about. And I think an interesting thing of, like, a lot of kids that are in high school now, my niece's ages, they're not looking at Beyonce. Like, I mean, some of them don't look at Taylor Swift either, but like, it's.
But I do think it's blame the parents, because not blame the parent, but you know what I mean? I feel like right now, a lot of it is Taylor Swift does have a very young audience, but it is also because her audience has grown with her, and now they're having kids. And they're hella Swifties, and now they're turning their kids into hella Swifties.
Well, but I mean, Taylor Swift hasn't been around long enough for her fans to have kids that are old enough to be
100%. 100%. There's so you're not on the Swiftie TikTok. There's so many Swifties that are like older that took all their kiddos that are, I don't know, 7, 9, 10. That are fully aware and fully obsessed with Taylor Swift.
Okay, well, sure. But that's also like, my parents listened to Taylor Swift, so I've loved Taylor. I mean, it was fed to them when they were younger.
Sure.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that happens all the time. But I don't know. It just seems there's, I don't know, where does she go?
Here's the thing. I don't think she needs to go anywhere.
I get that, but at a certain point she will have to. Like,
who's to say? Sure, honestly, who's to say? I'll say, because she's playing with the genre of music she makes so much that to her fans it does feel like she's going places. It does feel like her music is evolving because she's playing with her sound so much that though it may feel like it's still being catered to a younger audience, to her fans that have been around since she was 15 and they were 15 and they've grown with her, it feels like there's been an evolution of an artist.
Well, and those fans will continue to follow her forever.
But that's what I'm saying is like, does she need to think about evolving in a way that will make a bigger impact? She has the biggest impact. You know what I mean?
I do, yeah. But what I'm saying is like, at what point does because I think she's catering to a younger audience, but at what point does she stop doing that? Her fans will all like the fans that she has will always be there for her. But like, at what point does she just say, okay, I have the fans that I have and we're going to ride it till the end, as opposed to what I think is happening is that the decisions that I'm making about artistry and about business do cater to a much younger audience right now.
This is what I think. I think she doesn't even need to consider it. Because I think at some point, if she herself feels like I'm a little too old to be performing these songs, I'm a little too old to be doing this kind of work, this kind of entertaining show, then she's going to retire that part of her life and she's going to go into directing and she's going to go into writing films and she's going to go into writing books, and she will strip all of her songs into acoustic versions and she'll tour that. Because she's done it already. She strips things down into acoustic versions and it sounds different. And then she performs that version. She's done stripped versions of her shows. And I think that's what she'll do. I think she's going to make a shift into directing and producing and possibly writing. And then music will be just what keeps bringing in the money without her having to think about it.
Interesting. Taylor Swift, come on the pod and let us know if any of this is true.
Yes.
Tell us how big, what's his name? Travis.
He's 6'5". I know it's big. I know it is. Anyway.
Okay, Taylor. Okay, next up on the Pop Culture Pop-Up, Kourtney and Kim. The new season of The Kardashians is on Hulu, and Kourtney and Kim still are fighting. They are angry at each other. And this topic was proposed by Julie. So Julie, I'm going to let you tell us what your thoughts are here first. Please enlighten us.
I don't watch the Kardashians, but you can't escape this video of this phone conversation. It's everywhere right now. Apparently Kim and Kourtney have been fighting for a minute, for a couple of seasons now. And for a lot of different reasons. And there was a phone call in one of the episodes of the Kardashians where Kim calls Kourtney to kind of try to mend fences, try to figure out what's going on with each other. Why can't they stop fighting? And a lot of things happen in this conversation. Apparently from this 3-minute conversation, this is what I gather as a person who has never seen a Kardashian episode and knows very little about these people. Kourtney seems to be frustrated at the fact that Kim Kardashian is working with Dolce & Gabbana because that deal happened after Kourtney's wedding that was sponsored by Dolce & Gabbana. And she feels like Kim did that on purpose to outshine her wedding because the deal was discussed during Kourtney's wedding. Now in this phone call, Kourtney says, you were just unhappy during my wedding. You couldn't just be happy for me. And Kim says, I was. What are you talking about? And this is my point. We can discuss who's right and who's wrong. I think personally, me, who I am as a person, not knowing any of their history, so do not come for me. I think Kim loses all credibility to her point when she starts bringing up the fact that her friends, Kourtney's friends, talk about her behind her back with her sisters. She loses all credibility because that's the thing you're doing to hurt somebody. So whatever discussion you were having, there's something that Kourtney said that hit a nerve in a specific way to Kim that she said, now I'm going to hurt you. And she didn't stop with that. She also said that Kourtney's kids come to Kim to complain about Kourtney. And that's the lowest of the low. I hate my sister-in-law, and I've never said your kids come to me to tell me how horrible you are. That's just not a thing that you say. So, but no one said that to my sister-in-law. No one said that to my sister-in-law. But you know what I mean? It's just this gives me, because look, siblings fight, siblings go through stages. One minute you're obsessed with each other, the next moment you're like, I wish you would die, I would help bury you. You know what I mean? But there's a point in a argument where you're losing any any security that you had in your argument, and that's when you start, it feels like gaslighting the other person into saying, all these people in your life that you think love you are coming to me and agreeing that there's a problem with you, so maybe you need to look at yourself. And I think that that's where you lose all credibility to your argument. And I think that Kim Kardashian, I don't think she's a narcissist. I think she has very high narcissist tendencies. And I think we saw that with the way she chose to defend herself in this argument. And that's what I'll say.
As somebody who does watch the Kardashians and who cannot, I mean, the fact that they didn't make us wait this long for the next season, I mean, I love it. I think that Kourtney has said some really nasty things to Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I don't think that it's about the wedding. I think the wedding is just something that was caught on camera, and it's easy for them to go back and forth about. I think that I find Kourtney Kardashian frustrating, because if you don't want to do this, then just don't do it. If you don't want to be on the show, if you don't want to be on the cameras, if you don't want to do all of these things, then don't do it. But if you're going to do it, then show up to work and do it. I think that there's things that happened when they were younger. I think they were pitted against each other. I think that they were made to compete with each other, because I think they're really close in age, and it just was the way that two siblings unfortunately were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a lot of rumors out there about what has been said and what has been done, and why the real reason why they don't like each other are. And I think that they both have very strong points. But I tend to be on Kim's side on this argument, because Kourtney Kardashian can be, I think, very frustrating at times to watch, and to, I don't know. It's just, I think Kourtney's very jealous that Khloe and Kim got very close, but I think that Kourtney has pushed people out of her life. And so what do you expect when you push people out? So,
right.
I don't know. It's very fascinating. And will I watch every single episode? You bet your pretty little ass that I will. Oof. And will I be eating a wonderful meal while I watch it? I can guarantee it 1,000 times over.
Good for you. Good for you.
It's so good. It's my comfort show.
Interesting. I love that. This 2-3 minute video was frustrating enough to witness, so I would not be able to invest fully into watching them consistently, but I disagree completely. But it's fine because I don't know the backstory, right? And I don't know the intricacies of their relationship, and I just think it was really fucking low of Kim to be like, we actually, while we're on it, everyone in your life fucking hates you, and they all come to me and tell me that they do.
And I don't think that those are things, I actually don't think that those are things that Kourtney hasn't either been told or hasn't heard before, actually. And also, I believe that Kourtney was okay with putting that into the show. I do believe that there is a trust between the family where if somebody really didn't want something aired on the show because they have executive producer credit, then it wouldn't be on the show.
No, but I do think Kourtney wanted it on the show because it makes Kim look horrible. That alone makes Kim look really bad. I think that if that and the kid thing didn't happen, I'd probably be like, Kim's just trying to have a conversation with this girl. And this girl's, you can very much tell that she's not having an open dialogue at first. And I don't remember the conversations perfectly. So, but I do think that Kourtney said something that triggered Kim to actually be mean. I think that what she was doing was mean.
Well, because Kourtney was like, you're selfish and you're a narcissist, and all you don't care about anybody but yourself, and all you care about is, I mean, her whole argument about the whole Dolce and Gabbana thing was that she, first of all, let us not forget who got married in Italy first, Kim. Let us not forget who had Andrea Bocelli at her wedding perform first, Kim. So, you know,
I'm just saying, I
get it.
I do. I forgot what I was gonna say. I do think that Kourtney, fuck, what was I gonna say? That Kourtney is closed off, and Kourtney wasn't trying to have an open dialogue, and she did say that you're a narcissist and stuff, but Kim's response kind of just proved her points.
Well, but I mean, but like, yeah, like, yes.
Then what are we fighting about?
Well, that is the question.
Then it's like, the real question. Then why do you get frustrated that I call you a narcissist if you're showing me that you, because it's like, she's saying like, no, I don't think you care about me. And at some point, I think Kourtney at the end says like, do you think this is helpful? Like, you bringing up my kids, do you think this is helping the situation in any way? And I think it's like, we were on a topic and now you're being mean and you're hurt. And babes, I have been here in a conversation with my brother where it's like, how did we get here? How did a conversation about whatever the fuck turn into you saying something mean about my person, my existence? Like, how did we get here? And that happens when you say something that triggers a reality for the other person, because I've experienced it. You say something that may be mean, but is the truth, and this person got triggered. And so now they're like, well, now I'm going to fucking hit you where it hurts. And I know exactly where it hurts. Right. And it's by telling you that your support system isn't your support system. And your children often are frustrated with you.
Right. Here's my prediction. They will never not, I think, be in a good enough space to not at least work together. I think that will always be the case. They're sitting down, they sit down and do confessional videos together. I haven't seen the first episode of the season, so I don't know if they already did that or if they already aired that, but I mean, it also is making for a wonderful storyline on a TV show. So,
yeah.
But I will keep everybody updated as to what happens with this relationship. I'm invested.
I mean, babes, we need you to keep up though, because the season started. You haven't even seen the first episode. We need you to speed up your watching experience. We can't get news from you 3 weeks after it happened. The conversation's over.
I know. Well, to love me is to ride on the same train as me.
With me. Yeah.
Next up on the pop culture pop-up, Gypsy Rose. What happened with Gypsy Rose, Julie?
Gypsy Rose, I'll tell you what she did, but she's been granted parole and she will be out, I think, later this year of prison. She originally in December. She's going to be released in December.
How 3 years before. Is Gypsy Rose famous because of what happened, or was there a preview? I don't know anything about Gypsy Rose.
Yes. So she's going to be 3 years before her actual release date. So this is Gypsy Rose. Gypsy Rose had a mom named Dee Dee. Her mom had seemed to have Munchausen's by proxy. So essentially, she caused Gypsy to be sick without anyone knowing. Then she would take her to the doctors and get her diagnosed and get her on these medications. And at some point, Gypsy was in a wheelchair. Gypsy was from the moment she was born. This happened in her childhood, and at some point she was in a wheelchair. The medication was so rough on her stomach and her being that her teeth were rotting. A lot of things were happening. She had a shaved head. She got like a Make-A-Wish. She would get things donated. I mean, essentially it was for people to applaud Dee Dee's caregiving abilities. And they were a little bit known throughout communities because they were so outspoken about the quote unquote diseases and ailments that Gypsy had. And they were in and out of doctors like you wouldn't believe. And at some point when she was a teenager, Gypsy Rose got a hold of the internet, somehow got herself a little online boyfriend, and her online boyfriend and at this point Gypsy, I think, was realizing, I'm in a wheelchair, but I can walk, and she doesn't let me walk, and I can do this, but she doesn't let me do that. And so I think Gypsy herself was coming to terms with a lot of things, because remember, she was very young when this stuff started happening. So she just knew sickness. She just knew that she was sick because that's what her mom was telling her. And who is she to question what her mom is telling her? And she is going to doctors, and doctors are prescribing her medication. So who is she to question any of it? But at some point, things started falling into place for her. Got herself a little online boyfriend, and she wanted to go be with her online boyfriend. She wanted to experience falling in love and being with someone. So her online boyfriend and her made a plan to kill Dee Dee. And they did. They went into Gypsy left the door open for the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend went into the house and killed Dee Dee. And then Gypsy and her ex-boyfriend fled, and then they went to a motel or something. And eventually they got caught, and now here we are with Gypsy in prison. I mean, from what I know, there's a series on this on Hulu. It's very well done. It's by that one actress and then the other one. You know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Joey King and the other actress. You get it. Anyway,
wait, they reenacted this story. Like,
essentially, yeah, it's a drama. Very well done. And to me, from what I know, I've heard the podcast, I've seen the videos, I watched the series. Gypsy is a victim of her mother. She is a victim of her mother's disease. I'm not saying Dee Dee deserved what happened to her, but I do think that in that moment, Gypsy didn't see another way out of her situation. And though I do think it was teenage brain that got her into the situation, which was, I want to be with my boyfriend, very much teenage brain. No other solution than to be with my boyfriend, and this is what I need to do to be with my boyfriend. I also think that her brain was warped, her being was warped, and her decisions were not fully done from a place of a healthy state of mind because of her mother. I think a lot of this is because of her mother, if not all of it. Not that Dee Dee deserved what happened, but now she's going to be released, and hopefully, she's done interviews recently and she seems like so much better. She was like infantile when they first caught her. Like, she seemed like 9 years old, and she wasn't 9 years old. And now I think she's been around other human beings, and she's probably gone to therapy and getting some help and reading and learning things and becoming a better human. And hopefully she comes out here and is a normal member of society that apports to the world, hopefully.
Right. There's also the conversation about the Menendez brothers. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
About how they could possibly be released from prison. With
that one's a little harder for me.
Well, right, but there's like the conversation is similar in the sense that they claim that they killed their parents because they were getting abused.
That one's a little harder for me to buy. That
Uh-huh.
one is a little hard. I mean, who am I to say I'm not in the jury? But
Right.
babies, you killed your parents and then you were spending their money. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
You killed your parents and then you went on a shopping spree. I don't
Right.
know. It
Right.
feels that doesn't give me trauma. That gives me now they're out of the way. But I wasn't a part of the jury. I didn't hear the entire
Well, and I
case.
don't know. I don't know what the actual evidence, the new evidence is. But there, I think, something to be said about how parents
Yes.
are
Yes.
horribly abusing
Yes.
children.
Yeah.
And at what point does it reach a breaking point?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Next up on the pop culture pop up, the writer's strike has come to an end after I think 140 something days. The strike is over. The actors are still on strike, but the writers are back at work.
Yes.
But it does not come without a couple of casualties.
No, it doesn't.
Julie, you have struggled in the past week. What's been canceled?
Blind spotting. And I told you guys to watch the show, and none of you did it. And look at me now, depressed, upset. This is hitting me as hard as Smash hit me. And babes, Smash got canceled in 2013, and I'm still talking about it. So get ready to hear about this until I die. I'm very upset. Stars canceled that one. It canceled Heels, though Heels was deserved because the main actor was a scab. And he passed the picket line. And Run the World, which is also a great show on Stars. Blind Spotting got canceled. I'm so upset about it. I'm like legitimately, I wrote a thing about it, yumiandchisme.com. I'm very frustrated by this. That was phenomenal television, not only in the storytelling sense, but also in the ways that they were using different aspects of creativity to tell their stories. They were using dance and spoken word, things that we don't see in television shows on a normal basis. And they were having conversations that are difficult to have about the N-word, about how incarceration affects children in a way that humanized people that are incarcerated, that made you empathize with them, which unfortunately, I mean, me, Adrian, probably don't have an issue with, but the general public very much struggles with. It empathizes these stories about these people that make mistakes and that are guilty, but make mistakes and are stuck in the system that is built to keep them down. And we do not talk about that enough. We discuss incarceration all the time, but we don't talk about the people that it affects, and not only the people incarcerated, but the people in the communities and the friends outside that it also affects and it also hurts. Blind Spotting was perfect. It was phenomenal television. Shout out to Daveed Diggs and Rafael Casal for creating something that surpassed any of their expectations and essentially made the audience better for having watched it. I thoroughly am obsessed with the show. I'm obsessed with the movie. I've said it before, Miles and Colin, Daveed Diggs and Rafael Casal's characters really reminded me of me and Julian, my high school best friend. And so just in that, the movie has a very special place in my heart. The show was even better. How dare you guys? I told you guys and I told you guys to watch it. And you didn't. And I'm looking at you, Adrian.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
No, I know. Yeah. I know.
I didn't have Showtime or
it's
Stars.
On Stars.
I didn't have Stars. I can't afford another streaming service right now.
Stars, you're breaking my heart, Stars. If you cancel Mink, Stars, oh, bitch, we're going to war. We're going to war.
I think you should go pick it at Stars.
Honestly, I'm considering it because I'm genuinely distraught. Though I will say the season 2, still go back and watch these 2 seasons, please, guys. Adrian's not gonna listen to me, but someone please do, and then feel bad about the fact that you didn't do it when I asked you to originally. But this second season kind of ended. I had a feeling in my soul. It ended kind of as like the end of an open end to the story that they were telling, and so there was closure. There was closure in the story, which was nice. But I'm still very upset. I'm still grieving.
I'm sorry, Julie.
It's okay.
Can't wait for the actor strike to end so we can get everybody back to work.
I know. And well paid.
And well paid.
Yeah.
And award season.
This guy.
Let's not forget about award season. Looks like it's going to be saved. Woo.
Yes.
Finally on the Pop Culture Pop-Up, Kerry Washington and Tony Goldwyn reunited this past week. And the fans went wild.
Yes, we did.
They made their trip down from Vermont and they said, here we are. For anybody who never watched Scandal, you're missing out on one of the greatest love stories ever.
100% chemistry on fucking point with those two.
Yeah. Still
to this day, Kerry, come on the pod. Tell me you fucked him. I just have a feeling, Kerry, just the one time. That kind of chemistry. We can only hope to encounter that with an actual human being, not getting paid to act. And now you're in this show with this man who, by the way, I only find attractive when he's playing the president. I'm sorry, Tony. But there's just something about them two together in a room that I feel like every interaction they have, they're about to fuck. Like, I just feel it. Like, you are 2 seconds from fucking. And we're here in the room with you. This is weird. I'm obsessed with them. Obsessed with them.
Yeah, they should do a spinoff. What are Fitz and Olivia up to now?
You know what I would like to see actually is a love story with them, but like not Scandal related, but another project that they do together of them falling in love without, the murders and the kidnaps. Just
remember
like a
when
cute
Olivia got kidnapped?
Remember?
She was in that cave or whatever.
I 100% remember when Olivia got kidnapped. I'm gonna go rewatch Scandal because that is top tier television. For a hot minute it was. I remember, did you watch the entire series? You never know with you. But remember when Cyrus's husband got murdered? Oh, my jaw was on the floor. My jaw was, I said, not him. I felt that in the pit of my stomach when it happened. What a time to be alive. I would love to see Tony and Kerry do a project together, like a cute little rom-com.
I would love that. That
would be so good.
That would be very cute. I mean, they must get offers to do things all the time.
And if they're not, then Hollywood is really fucking up because that kind of chemistry you can't just find anywhere.
Right. Excellent. That's going to do it for the Pop Culture Pop-Up. We'll be back next week with more Pop Culture Chisme. Before we move on to Azúcar, I just want to mention that we're going into the weekend with lots of big news. They just arrested somebody for Tupac's murder. Senator Dianne Feinstein has died. The government is about to shut down. Lots happening. But most importantly happening, it is Julie's birthday on October 1st.
It is.
It is the wonderful, incredible, sassy, brilliant, funny Julie. And so everybody's going to sing you happy birthday right now. So join me as we sing Julie happy birthday. Okay, everybody on 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Julie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
I am okay right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything?
I'm going to dinner with Angie tomorrow. I'm going to dinner with my family Sunday. Yeah, okay. I'm doing a little bit of stuff. I'm seeing my best friend from high school, Katie, today. Okay. So yeah, I'll be out and about.
Okay. Maybe we should do dinner on Monday.
Okay.
I think I can. Actually,
there he goes. You see how he does that? You see how he lifts me up and then he tears me back down?
Let me figure out the best way.
Well, where are you Saturday?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm going to Riverside tomorrow.
You see how he does me?
First of all, Angie didn't invite me.
Do you guys see that? It was just a me and Angie thing, but I thought now, I mean, if you can't make Monday, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, last time we didn't see each other until a couple months after your birthday.
Story of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Julie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Now, do you have a Latinx spotlight for us?
I do have a Latinx spotlight, and this Latinx spotlight is very, very special because I don't know why we haven't thought of to do this before, but it is submitted by a listener.
Yes.
The lovely Jaslyn reached out to us, and she says she is submitting her sister Kayla, who premiered her short film at the New York Latino Film Festival this past weekend. The reactions were amazing, she says, and I'm super proud of her. Her name is Kayla Gutierrez, and she premiered her short called Touch, and it's about a 14-year-old Ale who finds herself wait, sorry, let me reread that. 14-year-old Ale finds her desire to explore intimacy challenged by a new crush. And it premiered to great people loved it. They were raving about it. And it premiered in New York, and hopefully it'll reach a festival here in Los Angeles so we can watch it over here on our end. And congratulations, Kayla. Premiering a short in a New York Film Festival is a huge deal. And the fact that it got great reviews and feedback, good for you. We're proud of you. Your sister's proud of you. And this is great. And I'm seeing a little, what's it called? Like a preview of it, like a screenshot of one of the shots of it. It looks very cute. It looks adorable. I hope I get to see it one day. And congratulations on getting it premiered.
Kayla. Amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations. Thank you for listening. Jaslyn said that Kayla listened. So
is that what she said?
Did she did I read it incorrectly? I'm pretty sure that's what she said.
Oh, I don't oh, she is a listener. Kayla.
Yeah. So this might be a surprise to Kayla. Hopefully Kayla made it this far into the episode, because if she dipped out after the Taylor conversation, then I'm so sorry,
rude.
Kayla.
A little bit rude. You're missing out.
Thank you both. Congratulations, Kayla. What an amazing achievement. I'm going to go have a tuna sandwich after this, and that's going to be the highlight of my day.
We can't all be Kayla. We can't all be Kayla. No.
Awesome. Okay. Time for some azúcar. I will go first. My azúcar is we're celebrating 10 years of Pure Heroine by Lorde. 10 years of her debut album. One of my ultimate favorites. It's so good. The fact that a 16-year-old made this is, I think, absolutely incredible, which also leads me to believe that we are not all created equal. Okay? Because I think it's a masterpiece. I think 10 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
10 years. You know, it's been 12 years since I graduated college.
Oh, Jesus, don't even let's not think about it.
Anyways, that's my azúcar. Julie?
Wow. My azúcar this week is Kelly Clarkson's Chemistry Deluxe album. She released about 6 new songs. Each one is better than the next. They're phenomenal. Kelly Clarkson, I fear, does not get the recognition she deserves as a singer. She just did a performance at the iHeart Music Festival, which was vocally so impressive. And because her songs are catchy, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about her low runs. We don't talk about the way that her vocals pierce through our fucking ears. And we should give her the respect. And I think she's phenomenal, and she's looking great. Revenge Body. Have you seen her recently?
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah. She said, "You're gonna miss me, bitch. Watch it." Good for her for doing what she needs to feel good about herself and about what happened and about everything in between it, because she deserves the best. So I love Kelly Clarkson. You should listen to her album Chemistry. She deserves everything, and her vocals are exceptional in it.
And tell us about your shirt really quick.
How long I'm wearing my NSYNC shirt. I've had the shirt for a minute, not for that long, but for.
Did you make it or did you buy it?
No. I bought it.
It's a classic.
It's an NSYNC shirt. I haven't listened to the NSYNC song that was released yesterday.
Oh, did they?
Because I want to make a react video, and I just haven't had the time, and I won't have the time until tomorrow. So we're avoiding it at all costs. But NSYNC fans collectively are very excited about it. So
okay,
yeah.
Woo. It's gonna be me. Okay. Dirty pop. Okay. Well, that's going to do it for us. We've reached the end of the episode. Thank you for making it this far with us.
Yes.
Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at You, Me, and Chisme. Make sure you visit our website, subscribe to the newsletter, read all of Julie's wonderful reviews, youmeandchisme.com. Make sure that you rate, review, subscribe, share this podcast with all those that you love. And yeah. And send fan mail. Send us a Latinx spotlight if you want to send, if you want to highlight somebody before we start charging for those. And just kidding. And yeah, we'll be back next week with more Chisme. But until then, make sure you have lots of love, lots of peace, and most importantly, lots of Chisme in your life. Bye.
Bye.